with Jeff, the Managing Director of Fundify and founder of Fundify, a company specializing in technology that links the charity sector with potential funders. Can you just give us a little bit of background to the company? You started it, how did you fund it, what are its aims, what advantages does it bring to the market?
Sure. Fundify is a tech platform to help individuals and grassroots charities have improved and equitable access to grant funding information. So it's essentially a search engine for grant funding. Unlike Google, it only contains information on grant funding, so you're guaranteed to get the right results. The business is still pre-revenue, but it will be software as a service. So it's a subscription model when it's trading. To date, the business has been funded by some early angel investment, a small grant, and a loan from one of my other companies to bankroll the actual software development and platform build.
Just as a reference, were you aware of R&D tax credits when you set it up, or did that come later?
I was aware of them, but I had no experience of them.
The key technical challenges?
Well, we're not a software company, so we were building bespoke software to address an ongoing and unsolved industry need. And it's using big data combined with bespoke search algorithms and AI, all of which were kind of unfamiliar to us as an organization. So I guess the main advances and kind of challenges are better search and having all the data in one place, which no one's been able to do previously. The sheer volume of data, we've got 40 million data points in the system, and being able to sort, search, index, and categorize all of that. So not being skilled in as an IT company has been kind of a real challenge, and that's why we had to kind of collaborate with universities and get specialist development.
I understand you did collaborate with the universities, and also you were involved with an enterprise, I'm not sure, is it public sector, the Sunderland
Software City.
City, yeah.
Yeah, so they help businesses with challenging technical builds. So they help lay out the kind of functional specification of taking it from what is essentially an idea to something someone can build. So they assisted with that, and then we found a kind of a UK developer to take it forward. Yeah,
and you were involved with 2 universities, if I remember correctly.
That's correct, yeah. So one was Newcastle University, who have the National Centre for Data Innovation, and we got support through the Arrow project, which was a kind of a fully funded project there to help with some of our research. And we've also done work with Aston University, who have helped us out with finding skilled students to put into the project on placement.
Okay. Given the fact that you were involved with the R&D project sometime before you became involved with us, can you tell me a bit about the experience up to that point?
Sure. So without naming names, my prior accountant had a sister company that allegedly specialized in R&D. And because they were connected to the accountants, I was just kind of migrated and passed across to them. And I think quite quickly I realized the person that I was given wasn't a specialist and was a little out of their depth. And after 12 months of inactivity, I then started asking kind of my contacts where I should be going, who I should be speaking to try and get this solved, because obviously it was more complex than I had first envisaged.
So how did you find us?
So I was asking some of my contacts, so Frederick's Foundation, who have lots of connections within kind of the world of finance. The CEO of Frederick's Foundation has worked with you previously and referred me in, and I prefer to work on, if someone does a recommendation that's based on and it's someone you trust, then I'm happy to go there. And I was a motivated client, I think I could say by that point.
Okay. And were you happy with the outcome of the R&D project? I.e., were you happy with the amount of money that you got from the R&D claim.
Yes, I mean, it obviously
handling of the project, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's always nice if you could get more, but everyone's going to say that. You know, I was at risk of losing a year's and possibly 2 years R&D expenditure. So for me, it was really good that the project happened quickly. It happened within the time frame to allow the R&D claim to happen, and you know, the whole process was actually a lot smoother and faster than I'd previously experienced. So I knew exactly where I stood. I knew when meetings were being scheduled, kind of what the outcome of those meetings were going to be. The report was really clear and articulated everything we'd said in the meetings. That was all good. And it was just a completely different experience to what I'd had before.
Okay. So if from getting involved with us, just I don't remember how long it took from start to finish, roughly.
I think it was about 6 weeks in total.
Yeah. And was that including getting the cash from HMRC, or was that?
Yes, because we were kind of running towards the kind of March deadline or end of March deadline. So yeah, it was short turnaround as well, considering the last people I've been with have had it over a year and have done nothing with it.
And what was the impact of getting the R&D credit in terms of your future investment in further work or marketing or whatever you spent it on? Or
sure. Well, it's not been spent yet, but it's there, and I think because we're now going through a second raise with investors, it gives them some confidence. You know, the fact that it's been approved, that we're, you know, a genuine company and we're doing things in the right way as well. So, you know, the money will be kind of deployed into the next bit of development on the platform. But equally, it might help leverage in kind of much bigger amounts, which is obviously, you know, what we need to do as a second raise.
And will you include R&D claims in your future development plans?
Yeah, we're definitely kind of a research intensive organisation. So we plan to do a knowledge transfer partnership with Newcastle University, who did the bit of work with us before. And that will be a much bigger kind of 2-year project. So that's worth a lot more money, and that's obviously R&D eligible as well.
And how likely are you to recommend RandDTax to business contacts?
So I think I'd recommend you to anyone who's kind of got a similar headache to you know what I had. If anything's unclear, then I'd be happy to direct people in your direction.
Okay, Jeff. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for agreeing to do this.
Sure.